Good morning, friends. Happy Friday and happy May. Today we're in a new month, and they say that April showers bring May flowers. So I hope that we get lots of flowers outside soon. Today for our poem, we're going to be reading a poem about May, and we're also going to be using Chunky Monkey. Today we're going to be using Chunky Monkey to look at endings. We've looked at this ending before, but we're going to practice it today because it's something that comes up in lots and lots of books, so it's very important that you know this ending. And today we're going to talk about the ending ing. When I, N, and G stand together, they say ing. Say that with me. Ing. When you read a word with an ing ending, you can chunk it. First thing that you want to do is you want to chunk off the ending and figure out the other part of the word. Most of the time you can do that by stretching the beginning part of the word. Let's see if we can stretch this beginning together. Pay close attention to this digraph at the end. So we're going to stretch this with 3 sounds. Let's stretch together. I, sh, and we'll put it back together. Fish. Now we'll add the ending sound. Ing. Fish, ing, fishing. That's how we would chunk a word that has an ing ending. Let's try another one together before we look at the poem. If we look at this word, first we want to take off that ending and stretch the sounds at the beginning to figure out the beginning chunk of the word. This one has 4. Go ahead and see if you can stretch that on your own. All right, and let's stretch it together. Jump. Jump. Now we'll add the ending. Jump, ing, jumping. Excellent. At the end of our poem for today, our poem is called May. We have 4 words that have an ing ending. When I chunk, I like to use a tool, a sticky paper, so I can cover up the end of the word. But if you don't have one of these at home, what you can do is just use your finger if you're reading in a small book, or your hand, just like I did with our examples if you're reading in a bigger book. Before we read the beginning of the poem, let's zoom in first on those 4 words with ing endings at the end. Let's take a look at this word first. So I'm going to use my sticky paper to cover up the ending of this word. And we're going to work on figuring out just the beginning chunk. This beginning chunk has a vowel team at the end. When O and W stand together in this word, it's going to make the long O sound. When you stretch this word, you're going to stretch the 3 sounds. This is going to be a long O. Go ahead and stretch those on your own, and let's try it together. G-r-o, grow. Now let's add the ending. Grow, ing, growing. This sentence is going to be about growing, and then I have a picture clue for this word, grass. Let's look at the next ing word together. I'm going to cover up the ending with my sticky paper. And now we're going to zoom in and focus on stretching out the beginning. In this word, we have 2 Z's, but you're only going to hear it once. So there's only 3 sounds in the beginning of the word. Go ahead and stretch those sounds on your own. And let's try it together. Buzz. Buzz. Now let's add the ending. Buzz, ing, buzzing. Excellent. This sentence is going to be about buzzing bees. You got it. Good guess. All right, let's look at the new word together, the next one together. I'm going to chunk off the ending with my sticky paper. And now we're going to figure out the beginning. This has the same vowel team as the word growing. So this vowel team here is going to make the long O sound. So this beginning chunk only has 3 sounds to stretch. Go ahead and stretch that on your own. And let's try it together. B-o, blow. Now let's add the ending chunk. Blow, ing, blowing. Excellent. Blowing, and then I did my best for a picture here. This is like the wind going across the screen. Blowing breezes. Yeah, that was a tricky picture to make. I did my best. All right, let's look at the last ing word together. I'll chunk off that ending first. This is a word we've used a lot this week talking about plants. OW in this word is going to make the ow. It's going to change what it says for this last word and try to trick us. So this is kind of the challenge word here. And then we have an R at the end that tells E to say nothing. We have a bossy R here. So when you stretch this word, it's going to have 4 sounds. Go ahead and give it a try. It is very tricky. It's our challenge word. All right, let's try it together. Ow, flower. Now let's add the ending. Flower, ing, flowering. And we're going to be talking about flowering trees in this last line. All right, now I'm going to go back to the top and read the whole poem together. If you'd like to just listen at the beginning, that's okay. You can read with me if you would like to. Otherwise, I want to hear your strong teacher voice when we get to those words that we worked on together at the end of the poem. Here we go. This poem is called May. May I say that I like May? I wish every day was a May kind of day, with growing grass and buzzing bees, with blowing breezes and flowering trees. Excellent. Let's read that one more time, and this time we're going to practice our fluency. So this time really pay attention to the way that your voice sounds as you read with me. May. May I say that I like May? I wish every day was a May kind of day, with growing grass and buzzing bees, with blowing breezes and flowering trees. Excellent. I really love the way that you used a strong teacher voice on that last time. I hope you enjoyed this poem about May, and I hope that we see some of these cool things outside when the weather gets a little bit nicer.